Well, I'm so glad I'm living in the old UP. I'm so glad I'm living in the old UP.
Hi, this is Jim Islip with MSU Extension, and this is what's up at UPREC on June 15th, 2020. Today is haymaking time at Chatham, and we'll be taking a look at that today.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Naasz, Farm Manager at the Upper Peninsula Research and Extension Center, and today I'm outstanding in my field. It's June 15th. We're cutting hay. It's about time for us to start cutting hay. Last year we were a little bit later than this. We started last week Monday and cut about 30 acres down, and the yield was poor, so I decided to wait a week, let it go, let it grow. So we're standing here in this field. This field happens to be a field of alfalfa and tall fescue. When we had the milk cows, we pretty much planted 100% alfalfa. And now with the beef cattle, we like to put some grass with it because it bales better. We make almost all of our hay is made as baleage. We make about 1,800 round bales every year, and 1,400 to 1,500 of those are baleage. So it's just too hard to get it dry. It's a little bit early yet, not too bad though, but the earlier you can get it, the higher the quality. And so we're going after it, and it's a great week, and we should get a lot of hay made this week.
This field is mostly alfalfa. Floyd's running the mower, and this is fresh cut hay which will be baled up into baleage. This hay will lay here for a day or more, looking for that roughly 50% moisture content. Nice first cutting of alfalfa. This will make high quality feed for the grass finished beef herd. Paul's checking this hay for moisture content by feel. Don't want it to be too dry. What do you think, Paul?
Well, it's pretty dry and crispy on top, but yet there's still some good moisture in the bottom, so I'm going to say it's probably 40 to 50% moisture right now, which is just about right.
These round bales are net wrapped. This hay field is orchard grass mixture with a little bit of alfalfa in it. And Andy Barman is running the tractor and baler. He's got about 20 minutes left to go in this field.
So we're out here in another field of hay, and this field is alfalfa orchard grass. And we like the grass and alfalfa mix because it dries a little faster and it works a little bit better in the baler. When you got straight alfalfa, for some reason the alfalfa gets a little sticky and gummy and it likes to gum up on the rolls. So I like to have a little bit of grass in it. The challenge we have with alfalfa and grass, especially orchard grass, is that the orchard grass matures a lot earlier than alfalfa. Orchard grass is going to shoot ahead about the 1st of June. I don't care what the weather conditions are. So when we decide when to cut, it's kind of a blend of yield and what we expect the quality to be. So obviously the earlier we cut, the higher the quality, but if we cut too early, the yield's not there. So alfalfa up here, we'd like to have it in the bud stage or early bloom, no later than 10% bloom. And this alfalfa here today is it's in the bud stage now. So it's time to cut the alfalfa, but of course your orchard grass is all headed out. So when we decide when to cut, it's just kind of looking at the maturity of the field and the maturity of the alfalfa and the grasses, and try to get at the timing right so that we can maximize yield and quality. Of course, that can be difficult. This year we've got real fortunate. It's like the second, third week of June, and we're getting great haymaking weather. We've got a good week, 5-6 days without any rain, and so things are going great. When we come out to mow this for the baler, we try to set the windrow about 4 feet wide, or just inside the tire tracks. That way when we're driving with the baler, we don't have to weave with the baler to keep the bale nice and uniform. If you get your windrow too narrow, you can have a tendency to build one side of the bale more than the other side, and your bale turns out lopsided. So if we get it even, or just inside the tire tracks, we don't have to worry about weaving with the baler back and forth to keep the bale uniform. This baler and most balers now have bale monitors in the tractor cab, and it tells us how full the bale is, and we can adjust the size of the bale by inches. We make ours about 60 inches, or a 5-foot bale, and they're 4 feet wide. So we can watch the progress as that bale is formed, and the diameter keeps going up. And when it gets 4 inches from where we want to stop, there's a beeper that goes off. And when that beeper goes off, you know you got a little bit and you're going to have to go again. And then once the bale gets full, the beeper has a solid sound, and you stop the tractor. This baler automatically wraps with net wrap, and when it's done, it beeps again. And so we can open the gate, drop the bale, close the gate, and we're ready to go again. Well, we use net wrap on our bales, and when you have a roll of net wrap, we generally get about 225 bales per roll. And if you notice some of the earlier bales, when you get down to the end of the roll, there'll be a red stripe down the center of it. You know you're getting close. Well, I just ran out, so it's time to change plastic. So we always carry a roll of plastic in the baler. That just flips down. Oh, and it's heavy. Everybody should keep, it's on a farm, should keep an old dull knife available so you can cut plastic. They're about $300. And so we get like 200 bales. It's about $1.50 a bale. Which is more expensive than twine, but it sure works nice. And it's fast. When we're working with twine, it takes about a minute to wrap every bale. And when we're working with this net wrap, we can do it in about 40 seconds or 30 seconds. And so, you know, when you say I'm going to bale 100 bales today, at a minute per bale, that's 100 minutes. That's an hour and a half you're sitting waiting for the bale to wrap, or the baler to wrap twine around the baler. And you know, if you're out baling and you can save a half a minute, you save 50 minutes or almost an hour. That may be the difference between getting to your kid's baseball game tonight. So we just kind of pull a little bit of twine out, or net wrap out, and there's some rollers here. We just kind of stuff it in there a little bit and get it started. Shut the gate, and there's a brake on here so that when your bale gets done wrapping, the thing doesn't keep spinning. So you want to make sure you shut your brake. I'm going to go in, and this bale, the alarm went off, so I don't know if it wrapped or not, so I'm going to start it and wrap the bale, make sure that the net wrap goes on, and then dump her out and continue on.
Okay. So that's what's up at UPREC on June 15 and 16, 2020. Hope to see you again next time.
Looking hard for a pasty shop, searching every corner I see, where the pasties are baking with rutabaga just for me.